Welcome to Arewa. I'm your host, Abdullahi Abubakar Kaka. On this episode, we're going to be discussing youth and politics in Nigeria. With me is former youth leader Bello Shagari, Babangida Ruma, who is also an youth ambassador and also a youth advocate. He's the founder of Ruma Initiative, and Abdullahi Abdul Majid, who is the advisor to Kwara State Governor. Before then, let's look at the top stories here in Nigeria before we can continue with our discussion. Shagar, welcome to Arewa. It's wonderful having you discuss youth and politics today on Arewa. As a former youth leader yourself, we see that the youth are the majority in Nigeria, but they are not able to make any impact in politics. From your own analysis, what is affecting this? What is causing this lack of youth participation in politics in Nigeria?
First of all, I would like to thank you for having me on this platform. The youth in Nigeria constitute over 65% of the population. And Nigeria has a population of almost 200 million people, or even above. And given our numbers, it is expected that we are able to influence the political scape of Nigeria. But unfortunately, we haven't been able to do that. And one of the reasons why we are unable to do that is because of our lack of cohesion, so much dependence, which is lack of self-reliance, the fact that we cannot depend on ourselves. We have always been dependent on the system or sponsors or something to be able to participate fully into political activities or to attain political positions. So as a result, we have become so much dependent, we have become vulnerable to become tools in the hands of politicians and the status quo. So those are some of the things that have really deterred us from making any meaningful impact as a youth with the highest majority in the country. Democracy is a game of numbers. If the Nigerian democracy is really working as it should, then the young people of Nigeria should be able to be at the center stage of the discussion whenever, we are talking about politics, whenever we're talking about election. But unfortunately, we are either influenced by some wrong notions or to make decisions on who to vote and how to vote, or we are not even voting at all. So I think this is one of the things that are really making us not, less impactful in the political space.
All right, thank you very much, Bello, for that intake. But Babangida, I'm going to come to you as a youth advocate, as a young advocate, and also the founder of Ruma Initiative. How do you explain the low representation of youth in Nigeria's politics?
Thank you so much for having me on this platform. And to be honest with you, the low participation of young people in politics is because Nigerian politics is one of the most expensive politics in the world. Because we all know that for somebody to be into politics, that it's a long process that we follow before somebody elected into an office or into the process. For example, it started from the primary elections. And even for you to be a member of a political party today in Nigeria is something, particularly those top political parties, PDP and APC. And being the process to be a candidate under that platform is at least something. The reason why I'm saying is one of the most expensive politics is because of the situations or our condition at the moment. Because considering the fact that as a civil servant, you are already started at the cost of 30,000 naira, maximum of 100,000 naira. You and I both know that that money is not enough for you to continue with their personal lives, to close of going into the political party, because the major problem is started from the primary level, not even going to the secondary election, actually. So for you to be in politics in Nigeria, it requires a lot of money. And as Bello said, the young people constitute majority of the population in the country, but we don't have a sustainable job. We don't have a sustainable means of making money. How do you expect that we can engage into politics? The major problem is from the grassroots. So if we as the young people want to be participate into politics, I think we have to create opportunity for ourselves, because we can't wait somebody to create the opportunity for us. So we need to create a platform for ourselves. We need to create an opportunity and believe in each other, and believe that the only way we can move our society or move ourselves forward is when we unite ourselves in one place and understand the power of unity, and understand actually even the power of youth. Because up to now, I'm not sure people we have are believing themselves. Because when anytime I meet with the young people, when we talk about politics, they said to me that it requires a lot of money, because I don't have money to go into politics. Sometimes it's not about the money, but sometimes it's about the unity within the young people. If they can bring themselves in one place, create a platform for themselves, trust me, you will see a massive participation in politics. In the 2019 election, of course, we see that many young people engage into the politics because of not too young wrong.
Yeah.
But the fact is that only few of them being elected in office. Why? Is because they don't have a strategy. They know everybody want to be in power. Everybody want to be in power to feel like I'm on top. But if we keep that aside and engage into politics only to create an opportunity for the trust me, things will change.
I spoke to some of the elected officials here on Arewa, and they told me that there is sabotage when it comes to participation of youth in politics. The elites always try to sabotage how youth participate in politics. From your own point of view, from your own experience, how do you analyze this, and what is to blame, or who is to blame for this sabotage?
I don't know. For some reason, the older generation sees the younger generation as a threat. They see us as people trying to replace them. You understand? They hardly, when we approach them, they even hardly consider us as partners, and that's what we are supposed to be, partners to them. We are not saying we want to, overturn the system and make it all youth. It wouldn't work like that. We need partnership with them, but yet they see us as a threat. And unfortunately, this is not what they have had when they were young. From 1960 to 1999, young people have been given a lot of opportunities, especially the soldiers. Most of them have became head of states at a very young age. General Yakubu Gowon became a head of state at only 31. You understand? He retired at 40. You understand? Whereas in this generation, life begins at 40.
Yeah.
So most of the time, they really see us as a threat instead of partners. You have very few politicians or leaders from the older generation who are confident in putting forth young people to work together with them. Very few of them. You understand? They can't even pretend. You understand? They feel threatened whenever young people are around them. And the truth is, if we have to have progress, we have to have young people in position of governance, in position of leadership, not just in governance, but in religious institutions, in every other institution. Because uh, time changes. You understand?
Yeah.
There's what is called globalization. Nigeria and other African countries have to catch up with their counterparts all over the world. You understand? The world is moving so fast. How can you have people of 60, 70, 80, and then expect them to be in tune with this latest generation? With this new generation, when everything has turned from analog to digital. You understand? Most of them can't even properly operate a mobile phone, took less of a computer. You understand? And we are in the age where computers are taking over. You understand? So sometimes they feel threatened. They feel that when young people occupy, these offices, and we advance in technology, there will be no place for them.
Yeah.
You understand? So this is one of the problems we have. But the reality is that they have to move on, and there has to be a transition from the older generation to the new younger generation for us to have any kind of progress. So they do that a lot. Most of them try to hold us hostage. You understand? To make us just work under them rather than work with them. You understand? And when you work under them, the only thing you do is answer yes sir, yes sir. You cannot be innovative, because they will always try to block any new idea that they don't understand, just because they don't understand it. So most of the time they just feel threatened. But it cannot happen. One way or another, things have to change, and we have to have some sort of progress in the way we operate and the way we do things. We can't remain in the same, working in the same way and expect any change.
True. So, Abdullah, I don't know if you can hear me now. Abdullah, can you hear me?
Yeah, I'm here.
Thank you very much for joining us on Arewa World. I see you having some issues with your network there. But I would like to ask you quickly, you've been in politics for quite long now. You've already contested for the member House of Representatives in Kwara State. How do you see local politics affecting youth participation in politics?
Well, thank you so much. And I must commend you for bringing this kind of conversation, onto your space today. It's a conversation that is quite phenomenal. It's quite contemporary. And then we need to continue to have this kind of conversation in order for us to be able to, deepen the political space in the country.
Yeah.
Basically, politics in Nigeria, politics at the national level, politics at the local level is not significantly different. It's a game of numbers, it's a game of resources, it's a game of strategy. However, political development, in different spaces is actually at different levels. When you look at political development at the national scene, it is slightly different from the political development at the local level. However, the political development at the local level is the basis upon which our political development or our politics at the national level is being played. Now, what are the issues that we need to consider as it concerns the way and manner in which politics affects young people? First and foremost, we must understand the fact that young people over time have been systematically overlooked and excluded from the political system. There's a systemic connivance, there's a systemic conspiracy to lock young people out of the political space and the political system. And you'll find out that those who are found wanting or those who are responsible for this kind of systematic exclusion and marginalization of young people are those who had the utmost, opportunity to be part of politics, to be part of governance at very young, ages. And so they have been in the halls of governance, for decades. And up until this moment, they do not see themselves living the political space.
Mm-hmm.
Now, unfortunately, the political space has been so corrupted. The political space has been distorted. The political space over time did not develop significantly compared to the level of development of politics in saner climes.
Yeah.
You find out that up until today, our politics is a function of the resources that the money bags can provide.
True.
You find out that today, up until this moment, our politics is not crisis and rancor. You find out that up until this moment, our internal democracy processes are not standard.
True.
So it's not about the competence of a candidate. It's not about the value of his ideas. It's not about the ability of that individual to deliver the dividends of democracy to the people. So for you to be relevant in Nigerian politics today, it is about who you know. It is about how much money you have. It's about which money bags you up. It is about the resources that you have to control the instrumentality of violence.
True.
And that's why you find out that up until today, the quality of our democratic system is what throws up the kind of leadership that we have. So as young people, we must understand that even when we feel discouraged, we see that there's a lot of apathy in the political system. But we need to know that nobody is going to fix or reform the political system, except if we tenaciously hold on to that dream of being a part and parcel of the system. Enough, are the days when we'd be having a non-aligned intergenerational equity in our political system. The time has come when young people must demand for a reasonable space on the table. I mean, nobody gives it to anyone. We need to take it. And then how do we take it? We need to understand what is going for us. If we don't have all the resources in terms of the money, we need to understand what we have. What do we have? We have the critical mass. We have the fantastic ideas.
Yeah.
We have the opportunity to be able to identify the second largest force in our political dynamics, the women.
Yeah.
So how do we align our interest with the interest of the women? And then how do we collaborate to move the political system forward?
Thank you very much. Thank you very much, Abdullah. Let me go to Babangida now. Babangida, thank you for waiting. As a civil or founder of civil society, how do you see the civil society playing a role in advancing young people's participation in politics?
Politics is based on interest, and anyone who have an interest should be given should be given opportunity to participate.
Yeah.
When we talk about the civil society organizations in the community, civil society organizations, those are the organizations that create a massive awareness about any progressive development in any society. So, in this case, the civil society organization is their responsibility to make a massive awareness about the politics itself. Because when you look at the system, or when you look at the young people in the country, most of them, they don't even know the power of politics. But I'm saying clearly that they don't even know what politics can do. So what I'm saying here at the moment is civil society organization, those are the real people that will make a real impact on on a low level. What I'm saying is that on ground. So civil society organizations, they need to create a massive awareness on about politics itself. And the power of young people, the young people have a very unique power to make a progressive change, but they need to be in one place. Civil society organizations in everywhere in the country need to create a massive awareness
All right.
about the politics system and what a politics can do for them.
All right. So you have an organization yourself, Ruma Initiative. How do you see your organization helping in such awareness?
No, basically, Ruma Initiative, is an organization that we mentor and train young people to change their world. So this considering the politics, what we normally do is that we create an awareness, like we create a forum whereby we ask people who have interest to participate in politics, and then we give them there. Because it's not everybody who have interest in politics. Some of them have interest in entrepreneurship and some other stuff. So we create a platforms or forum to divide them so that those who go into have interest in politics, we mentor them, we show them the way forward, and then we even create a blueprint for them so that when they go into the politics, they know what they should do. As one of the speakers says, Nigerian politics, if you look at the political landscape, it's all about money. But earlier on, I said it's not about the money, but it's about the unity of young people. Because we all see what the unity did in 2015. Most of the people that have been into power during that time, they had never been into power before, and they did not.
I think we're having a network problem there with Babangida. Abdullah, can you hear me? If you can hear me, let me come back to you quickly.
Okay, yeah.
So we heard what Babangida said. There are civil society, like even the youth need to come together in unity. But however, even when they come together, there is need to have like an enabling environment for them to pursue this political initiative that they have. What do you think, or how do you think we can create an enabling environment for the youth to participate in politics?
Okay, thank you so much. I think just two things in order to simplify this for us.
Yeah.
I think the very first thing that Nigerian youth need to bring on the table is first and foremost the ability to be able to demonstrate a unification of ideas and a unification of purpose. Nigerian youth need to prove to the older generation that better in idea and in purpose. Secondly, Nigerian youths need to demonstrate their competence. Mm-hmm. We need to showcase the ideas, the visionary dimensions that we intend to bring into politics. Okay? And then point number three has to do with the fact that the moment Nigerian youths have an opportunity to participate in governance, they need to serve as role models. Mm-hmm. They need to serve as wonderful ambassadors. In Nigeria right now, we have some wonderful governors, we have some wonderful political personalities who are already recognizing the power of young people in governance and in the entire country. You have certain governors right now whom in their cabinet, you find out that more than 70%, of the core persons who run the affairs of their government are young people. Yeah. If those people succeed, such governors will be encouraged to open the door more. That's about the case for us in Kwara State. Yeah. I mean, my brother here that I can see, Bello Shagari, has just been appointed, to lead a fantastic, formidable international organization by no less a personality than, a supreme traditional, ruler in the country, the Queen of Ife. So that's also somebody who understands the value and the power in the ideas and the ingenuity of young people. Mm-hmm. So Bello Shagari has a huge responsibility to continue as a torchbearer to keep, his ambassadorial role, up term. Yeah. The moment he does that, increasingly, more youth will get access to the gates that he is opening.
Yeah.
The same thing for people like us who are also in the halls of governance. The same thing for our brothers and sisters across the country. We cannot afford to let these people say we have given youths an opportunity and they have messed up. So once we can keep this going this way, I can assure you that by the next cycle, we will now reunite again from across different sectors in which we are ambassadors to our constituency. And then we would take the public space, by the storm. And I can assure you that by 2023, by the will of Allah, Nigerian youth will play a very significant role in the governance affairs of this country. But we must remember unification in terms of ideas, in terms of purpose. And when we have an opportunity, let us use it very well.
All right, thank you very much. We have to commend Kwara State government there for employing a lot of youths in the system, because I actually met you in Istanbul when I saw you guys representing the state. Three of you are all young men and a lady there. So I'm going back to you, Bello Shagari, if you're still with us. Bello, you heard what Abdullah said, you heard what Babangida said. If you're going to give your final remarks on youth participation, we know there are several issues when you were the leader of the youth council in Nigeria there. But from your own point of view, give us your final remarks on how youths need to participate or do more in politics in Nigeria.
Abdul Majid Abdullah is my leader. Perhaps you don't know, he was also a leader in the youth council. He has said so many things. And then, for young people to participate successfully into leadership, they have to be willing to set themselves free. They said power is not given, power is taken. You understand? Sincerely, all through my career, I have not been fortunate enough to have somebody to back me up. There's nothing wrong for having somebody to back you up, but I have not been fortunate enough to even have somebody to back me up to attain any position that I've been able to attain. I've fought my way to where I am today. You understand? And young people have to understand that they cannot wait for anybody to do this for them. They have to stand up and take the bull by the horns. You understand? And do it themselves against all odds. You understand? You can't wait. And the status quo doesn't have to agree with you for you to be able to achieve what you want to achieve. Like it's rightly noted, politics is a game of numbers. You understand? Just see how you can get through, and get the support of, young people like yourself. You understand? And this doesn't come easily, because you have to go to the grassroots, you have to go to people, you have to speak with them. You guys have to align. You have to do some alignment. You understand? You have to create, you have to make them believe that you have what it takes, you understand, in case you're running for any office. And if somebody, our contemporaries are running for offices, we should support them, you understand? One of the problems with the young people of Nigeria is we don't even believe in one another, you understand? We can't rally behind ourselves because we underestimate what we can do. You understand? And we tend to be so much dependent. This dependence is a problem, you understand? Once somebody is dependent, he becomes vulnerable, you understand? You cannot see somebody who is jobless, somebody who cannot feed himself, and then expect him not to be bought easily with cash. You understand? You understand? So if we can be self-reliant, if we can be independent of this status quo, we can be able to move forward. And like my leader rightly said, we have people like Oni of Ife, His Imperial Majesty now. This one person that I know that is openly, unlike anybody else, and like never before, you understand, opening his doors for young people to come and showcase themselves. And he's willing to support. He has demonstrated this a number of times. Somebody like me, I don't think nobody has ever considered me for any political appointment, because whenever you appoint me for an office or for giving me an assignment, I go for that assignment without any compromise. You understand? I'm not the type who you just used to do business as usual. So people see me more as a problem, because I'm not too cooperative to some of the agendas. But if somebody can look at me, somebody who the status quo are running away from, and say that he has given me a responsibility, then we must be able to see that person in another light and know that he really means business for the young people of this country. So this is what our young people need to realize. They need to know those people who really mean well for them, and then work with them. And those who don't mean well for us, we shouldn't be dependent on them, and we shouldn't think that they can stop us from achieving anything.
Thank you very much, Bello, for that. Babangida Ruma, if you can give us your final remarks on youth participation in civil society organization and also in Nigeria in general. how what would you say? What would your remarks be?
Things change, and we need to change with them. And we have to help those who can help themselves. And we have to create an opportunity for everybody.
Yeah.
And this is one of the reasons recently I launched a project to say that I want to transform 1 billion lives people. And this is something that I cannot do it alone, because I'm trying to, as I said earlier on, I'm trying to create an enabling environment for anybody to give him an opportunity. Because if you look at the land,
you say
look at the
1 billion.
1 billion people, exactly.
1 billion. Well,
exactly.
Don't you think that's far-fetched? I'm trying to see the feasibility of the amount of the people. 1 billion, I think it's a lot of people. Don't you think it's far-fetched?
No, actually, when I said that I have people who help me in this project, I have representatives everywhere, and I'm creating an online platform that can bring everybody on board so that we can mentor him. Because if you look at the landscape, is that not everybody have interest in politics, but some other things. But those who have interest in politics, we want to mentor them, because a lot of people have interest to go into the politics, but they don't have a channel, or they don't have somebody who mentor them. So I'm calling, or I'm saying that everybody, those who have an NGO or who have a civil society organizations, they should focus more on empowering people to be in the politics, because some people make a good leadership, but sometimes nobody is giving them opportunity to be there. So when you bring them on board, you teach them, you give them mentorship, and then teach them on how to be in politics. Believe me, things is going to be changed.
Thank you very much there. Abdullah, if you can get your own final remarks. You've been saying a lot of stuff, a lot of things here on the platform and our interview. Give us your final remarks on youth participation in politics in Nigeria.
Basically, for me, it's about reminding young people, in the words of Franz Fanon, that out of relative obscurity, every generation will realize its mission. It goes on to fulfill it or betray it. The youths of this country have a mission to right the wrongs of the past. We have a responsibility to fix the Nigerian problem, answer the Nigerian question, usher Nigeria into the long, sought after developmental era where Nigeria can fulfill its potentials and it can be a country that is great in reality and not just a country that is great, in terms of potentials. So, and I believe that there's no other generation that can make this happen but the generation of young people. My brothers with whom I've appeared on this platform today, and of course you, our wonderful host, I'd like to say that we're great ambassadors of our generation, and then we need to keep our acts together, and then we must continue to, keep the spirit up and then keep the flag flying. I know that sometime we certainly will get there. Our El Dorado is soon. Let us not give up.
Thank you very much, Abdullahi Abdulmajid, and thank you very much, Babangida Ruma. Thank you very much, Bello Shagari, for taking us to Arewa today. It's wonderful having the platform. We wish to have you again when we have discussion on youth and politics in Nigeria. Thank you very much for your time. Have a wonderful evening.